As a parent, you work so hard for your child to have a better life. Your only son has been sentenced to 30 years behind bar. This young boy is only just turned 18. For the next 30 years, that child is going to be behind bar. When your son's age mates, they are going to university, they are getting married, they are doing the things that other children do, your son is going to be behind bar and he will not do those things. That is exactly the pain that an African man and his wife are going through as we speak now. Their son has been sentenced to 30 years behind bar. Some people have blamed the father for this boy's outcome. However, the father said he did his best. He did things as he knew it, thinking that he lost his son and he wanted to have a better life for his son. Sadly, things have turned pear-shaped for this family. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us today. This is a Launch Club where we bring latest updates about the lived experiences of immigrants, and we also share stories to inform and educate our community. One of the best ways to learn in life is to learn from other people's success and failure. This story that I'm about to share today, it's a heartbreaking story. Sadly, too many children from our community, especially young Black men, are not fulfilling their potential. They are ending up in jail. This is not a problem that is peculiar to only the United Kingdom. It's a problem along most industrialized countries where you have Black and brown children. The United States, Canada, and most industrialized problem, there is no week that an African child is not involved in crime. There is no week that an African child is not involved in some form of gang-related problem. We all have a responsibility to come together and find solution, because too many of our young people are not fulfilling their potential. They are ending up in the right path. Don't forget to share and like this video and subscribe to the channel. If you know anyone who has young children, especially young Black men, please ensure that they see this video. This father, he came to the UK initially on his own. Before he came to the UK, him and his wife, the mother of this young boy, they are separated. So he came on his own. The boy was being cared for by his mom in their home country. The father was sending money to the mom. He put the boy in a boarding school. After some time, the boy said he doesn't want to go to boarding school. The boarding school is too strict, and the mom asked him to come and live with her. The boy was living with the mom. This boy has exceptional talent when it comes to football. He was passionate about football. In fact, mom said that is one of the reasons that she asked him to come and live with her, because she felt that the boarding school was too strict. Mom started having trouble with the boy. The boy refused to listen to mom, and he was displaying a lot of challenging behaviors. He got to the age of 11, going to 12, mom said, you know what? You are becoming too big for me. You don't listen to me. And I think that I need to send you when you can't continue to live with me. At that time, the father was in the process of trying to regularize his status in the UK. Eventually, he regularized his status when he realized that the son was having too many arguments and trouble with his mom. And he said, okay, I want you to come to the UK and live with me, because you are a man and I'm a man. You will be able to listen to me more and I can handle you. When the father told his friends in the UK that he wants to bring his son, they advised him, do not do it. He said, why? They said, you are a taxi driver. You work mostly at night. Who is going to be supervising your son if you bring him to the UK? The man said, I heard what you're saying, but I want to bring my son to the UK because if I do not bring my son to the UK, I've already started hearing stories that as young as 11 going to 12, this boy has started smoking and involving in all sorts of criminalities. If I leave him there, my son is going to die in my home country. So I'd rather bring him here where I will be able to monitor what he is doing. Sadly, this decision that this man took is now one of the biggest mistakes that he has made. The father said he spent a lot of money to bring this boy to the UK. Initially, he was refused when he applied for his visa. The immigration told him that the boy has his mom in the UK. Why does he need to go and live with his father in England? The man had to employ the services of a lawyer, and he contested the decision because he said, you know what? I just want to bring my son to the UK, especially as I know that he has the potential and he loves football. I will be able to use that to steer him from the path of crime. After 2 attempts, the third attempt, he eventually granted the boy visa to come and join the father in the UK. The man has spent close to 18,000 appealing lawyer fee to bring this boy to the UK. The man was very happy when the boy came to the UK with him. When the boy came to the UK, he enrolled in a school. The boy went to school and he was complaining to the father that they were bullying him because the way he sounded, that his mates, they didn't understand him. They were bullying him. He would go to school today. He was always complaining. Meanwhile, when the boy, the father works mostly at night as a taxi driver. During the day, the father will be sleeping. The father will be sleeping, not knowing that this young boy, that time that the boy said he's going to school, the boy was not going to school. This boy has only been in the UK for less than 2 years. The father said he struggled to settle into school in the UK. And the father did not discuss it with people from their community who would have been able to guide him on how to handle the situation. The school will write to the father to, look, we have problem. We're suspending this boy because of his behaviors. The boy was displaying challenging behaviors, and before you knew what was happening, this boy was knocking around with the wrong people, for God's sake. He was knocking around with the wrong people. He will tell his father that he is going to school. At this time that we're talking about now, this boy has been in the UK, is only a young kid who is only just growing out of teenagers. This boy will tell his father that he is going to school. He will leave home, but he won't go to school. And the sad part of it is that because the father goes to work at night, the father did not even know what was happening to this son. We see this with a lot of people from our community. You bring a child to the UK, you're doing 2 jobs. When there is no parental supervision in the child's life, sadly, it is the gang and the gang leader that will fill that role of a parent. We are seeing this too many times. This boy, before you know what was happening, this boy was not seriously involved in drug dealing. He was involved in car theft. People were using this boy for all these things, and the father did not even know. The neighbors will tell the father that, look, when you go to work in the night, this boy, it doesn't stay at home. The boy doesn't stay at home. It's always people dropping, different cars are dropping this boy. When the father asked the boy said, no, that is not true. It's not true. It's not true. But the school will invite the father for school and parent meeting that they want to discuss about the boy. The boy will receive the letter. He will just read the letter, throw it away, because the boy knows what the father is going to find. All this was happening. The father will go to work, come back, sleep during the day. The boy was just running riot. It got to a point where this boy, him and his friend, they stole a car. They changed the vehicle registration number. They were now using a fake registration number on the car. One day, the father was at home. He heard loud noise in the door. Remember, this boy that we're talking about now, while all this thing is happening, he's only 16 going to 17. The father one day was at home. He heard the police knock on the door. They said they are looking for his son. The man said, Why are you looking for my son? They said your son is under arrest we are looking for him because it's being investigated for car theft. Eventually, when the police arrest the boy was taken to the station. The father came and the boy said, oh, it was him and a friend. They were just playing. They just learning how to drive at night. They did not charge him, but they warned him. All these things was happening. The father said, when he realized that these things have gone bad, he thought about sending this boy back to Africa. But the father said that he had no one could keep an eye on this boy, and he comes from a area where he comes from in Africa. He said he's unstable, that he feared that if he sent his son back to Africa, his son will be worse. But what he didn't know was that the son has gone deep down into drug dealing, into car theft. The boy and his friend, this boy that is only still classed as a child because he's under 18, was arrested with the possession of firearm. A boy who is not 18 was arrested with the possession of firearm, not knowing that the police have been under surveillance of him and his friend. He was found with large cache of money, which the boy even hid inside the house under the father's bed where the father is sleeping. This boy has devised a way to hide slash money under the bed. The father said when the police came to search the house after the boy and his friend have been arrested, because the boy, another gang came to attack the boy and his friend, they robbed a car, were going on a revenge attack. This boy, I keep saying, is less than 18 years. They were going on a revenge attack. The police arrested them with firearm, drug, and everything. This father said when the police came to his house, he heard loud noise. Boom, 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 boom. He just came back from his taxi. He was sleeping. By the time they ransacked his house, they searched his house, it was under his bed. The father said he was shocked that under his bed where he was sleeping, that is where they find large slash of money, and they found bullets. The man said at his age, as someone that grew up in Africa, he has never seen a gun in his life. For his son to be found with possession of gun, bullet under his mattress, large slash of money, cocaine, heroin, he said he was shocked that he couldn't believe. Whilst all this thing was happening, the boy was arrested and he was charged to court. He has now been found guilty because of the amount of evidence. This boy, car theft, and him and his friend, they said they have stolen a lot of Ford Cougar. They specialize, they'll steal Ford Cougar, change the registration number, insurance fraud. And this boy, people are using this young boy for this thing. Sadly, because of the amount of evidence and crime that this guy has committed, possession of firearm, caught with class A drug with intent to supply, attempted murder, this boy just destroyed his life with his own hand. Unfortunately, people are saying that the father is responsible, that he was warned. Don't bring your child to the UK as a single father, knowing full well that you work as a taxi driver. The father did not listen. But because of his inaction, because of the fact that he wanted to do things in his own way, he has ended up destroyed. This is what the mom is saying, that he has ended up destroying their only child's life. And this boy, who has recently just turned 18, is now going to be spending a long time in jail. As I said before, too many young people from our community, they are not fulfilling their potential, either because they want to get rich overnight or because of peer pressure. If you are a parent raising a child alone, please, you need to be alert. If you're a parent, whether you have both parents, criminals are looking for young children to use to do bad things. They know that the police doesn't keep an eye on children as much as they keep an eye on adults. This is a problem that we are seeing in the US, in Canada, in the UK, and Europe. And sadly, it is immigrant children whose parents are trying to work different jobs to try to put food on the table. They are the ones that are being targeted. Don't forget, information is power. Make sure you share this video with anyone that you know has young children, especially young Black children. This problem is prevalent everywhere in the big city, in London, Manchester, Birmingham. Criminals are using young children to carry out their nefarious activity. Make sure you share this video with anyone. Do you think that the father is to blame? The father said he only wanted his son to have a better life. That is why he brought him to the UK. He did not bring the son to the UK for the son to end up being convicted for 30 years. What is your view? Let me know what your view are.